gone up, you have more offers, you have more packages. As customers, you have more choices. And more choices are through the advancement of technology. Okay. This is very important. Value-added service. Right? On x-axis, you can see the timeline. On y-axis, you can see the service revenue. You can see the growth. These are the value-added services globally. But you are well aware of that not has come with device solutions. You have UPO with the services of you can hear poems and songs. You can have clones and recipes. Same goes for mobility. These are the value-added services. That is where competition lies. Mobile is not, you don't use it simply for communication. You use it for multi-purpose. It has become a hybrid usage device. Not only globally but also in Pakistan. We have mobile and PCO. Remember? Are you aware of that? In rural areas. Why is that? That's also wireless communication. Why is that? We know that the major market lies in the rural areas. 70 to 80% of Pakistani population is in rural areas. We can forget that. So we live in one metropolitan area. And that is what the organization have realized. They are coming up with the latest technology accessing that market. Right? This is latest technology versus job. Have a look at this. You can see on the x-axis the technology, on y-axis the number of jobs, and the timeline. These domains, you are well aware of it, but what is important here to know is that we expected a boom in TDM or ATM or WiMAX, but the boom currently is in GSM. But it is not expected to last the next 5 years, as you can see from here. The growth is there, but there is a negative growth here, the job opportunity. Why? They are shifting to IPv6, right? Satellite is actually deployed in. And most of the companies, they are in the process of deployment, where Fahad will be coming in and talking about its implementation. You can see over here, this is the major area you should be focusing on. This is where the core network technology is. And this is the core technology, IPv6. Right? Offering students an opportunity to access themselves and the customers to maximize their satisfaction. Right? Now I would like to invite Mr. Fahad. He is a senior network engineer cabinet. He is also a member of the task force who deployed IPv6 satellite. He is also a team lead of IT task force. He will share his expertise talking about the technical aspects of IPv6. So put your hands together for Mr. Fahad.
Thank you, Nida. IPv6. Before going to that, Nida explained about the emerging technologies and its impact all over the market with respect to job perspective. But its impact is not remain with respect to the economy of the country. It also impacts the personal life of each and every person. Among these emerging technologies, IPv6 is among the dominated technologies. Why IPv6? You can say, first of all, what is IPv6? What is IPv6? IPv6 is the newer version of IP technologies that going to replace IPv4. Why it going to replace IPv4? This is a $1 million question. Because most of the world today has deployed IPv4 network. Why they going to shift their existing infrastructure to the IPv6, the new technology? Is it mature enough? This question that we have to first decide why we need IPv6. There is some shortcoming in IPv4. That's why we need to go as soon as possible to the IPv6 infrastructure. First of all, IPv4 is a 32-bit address. 32-bit address means it gave you around 4 billion of books. When they initially designed IPv4, they designed it based on classful addressing. Classful addressing means the complete 4 billion of hosts had been classified into 5 major classes. Class A, B, C, D, and E. But the problem is here that initially the class D and E are reserved for multicast and experimental. When they are reserved means you cannot use them for a unicast address, means to connect your machine to the internet. Means you cannot teach part of the addresses from 4 billion of hosts. Then you can say in early 1980s, most of the organizations and the education department of US have acquired class A and B addresses. And this addresses is far beyond their requirement. They have only 400, 500, or 1,000 of course, but they require millions of IP addresses. Even today, you can say more than 50 to 60% of these addresses are unassigned, but you cannot release them because these organizations already deployed their infrastructure, based on these addresses. The third one major issue is that other than this, private IP addresses have been designed to address future communication. Among them, this portion has been reserved for private IP addresses. So if we see this situation that at this point, that is after the deployment of IPv6 or IP4 internet, it's around 5 years from its starting, 40 to 50% of the IPv4 address space has been reserved, or you can allocate it. So what is the situation? What are the outcomes? Outcome is that these organizations don't want to renumber or redesign their infrastructure. So there are a huge amount of wastage of IP addresses in US mostly. So there is a problem addressed here that IP address space is exhausted. If there is a status in initial 5 to 10 years, what will be happen in next 20 to 30 years of internet? Next slide. To slow down the pace of this problem, what the internet experts do, they say there should be a mechanism to slow down the pace of this exhaustion issue. So the first solution that they have proposed is VLSM. What is VLSM? VLSM is Variable Length Subnet Mask. What VLSM enables, it enables the network designer to design their network according to their requirement. So the issue that we have faced that American organization acquired class A address, million of addresses for their 400 of hosts, 1,000 of hosts. So they will be allocated now only there according to their requirement, only 400 IP pools, not more than that. But this will give rise to another issue. Another issue is that these organizations advertises their small chunk of IP addresses to the internet. So what these multiple small subnet calls, they will then increase internet router table size exponentially. So to address this issue, other technology has been evolved like CIDR, classless inter-domain routing. What it helps, it enables ISP to aggregate all of their small chunk of, you can say the IP address of the client and aggregate them, summarize them and advertise a single big network to the internet. So these two technologies work well, and you can say that the problem that we have faced earlier, the wastage of IP addresses has been resolved. But the exhaustion issue is still there. To address that, one more solution is there, that is NAT. That is Network Address Transmission. What NAT does, it enables you to map single public IP address to the multiple private IP address. So if your organization, if suppose UIT needs internet access, and they have lab of 500 users, they don't need 500 public IP address. What they can get, they can use a single public IP address from the any ISP, and they can connect all those 500 users of the lab to the internet. But that has some inherent issues. What are those issues? One of the major issues is that around 90% of the current application doesn't support NAT. For example, voice. Voice doesn't support NAT. If you want to do a voice communication from this university to any other, whether voice or IP, it will fail. You have to upgrade your NAT device to support this technologies or the voice or IP, or you have to include another device, a NAT traversal device, that is the back of this, you can say the problem, it will increase your cost. This is the current status of this